Hello, beautiful souls. I hope you're doing well. Today, it is a great pleasure for me to create another creative intuitive transmission, a CIT, which bears the title Patience and the Plenitude of Void. Yes, void is not something that we should avoid. No puns intended. This is on the contrary, a place where we can find who we are and the plenitude within us. So before I start this CIT, I just wanted to just invite you all, if you're not already part of my Telegram channel, which is entitled The Grounded Starseed, that you can see written here at the screen. So it's an opportunity for you to join and to not to miss any of my posts. May it be the ones I do on YouTube, but also I create material with my collages that are related to galactic inspiration. And sometimes also I share also messages from the Mella collective, which I'm doing the same way I'm doing today in my creative intuitive transmissions, but just with a collage without a video. So if you don't want to miss that and you enjoy the transmissions of the Mella collective and my collages, then you could always see that on my channel, on my Telegram channel, where it's actually the only social media I use. I don't use Facebook, Instagram, or any other these things. I don't use them anymore. Twitter, whatever. I'm just on Telegram and on YouTube. So that's for just a little announcement I wish to do regarding the Telegram channel. So why are we talking about patience and the plenitude of void today? The Mella Collective, which is my soul cluster that I am part of, so they transmit in a way through me, through my higher self, through my heart, and we transmit. I should say we transmit because we're part of the same soul cluster, and we just sometimes I feel more inspired to share a particular message, and today it is, as always, most of the time grounded into a personal experience. So I find that sharing personal experiences is not a way necessarily to be, self-centered or anything, but it's more about sharing the experiences that are concretely grounded in experience. And I find that often this might resonate more with people because they're, grounded into the reality of things. And it also makes me, we're all humans and, we all have our challenges and good things. And this is a way for me to share with you. So why patience and why the plenitude of void? We are presently in a place in our on Terra, in a phase, let's say, of our Terran history, which is quite exceptional. We are transitioning slowly towards a fourth and fifth density where, we will be of higher frequency. But in order to do that, as I keep repeating in almost all my videos, we need to go within ourselves and do the healing journey, the spiritual journey, but mostly the healing journey of our traumas and our pains, and also do the shadow work, which is actually facing the less pleasant part of ourselves and integrate them harmoniously with the most loving and high frequency part of ourselves, because we are fractals of source. And as source has more creative and positive aspects, and also some regressive aspects, which are there to do the contrast that we need in order for our souls to grow and to evolve. So with that, since we are fractals of source, we also have that within us, and it's perfectly normal. Now, when we are going into that journey of going within and doing the trauma work and healing and shadow work, it is sometimes an uncomfortable place to be in, because it's not fun. However, it is a place that needs to be explored, and it is a place where we need to accept and welcome the right timing that is needed for us to do that healing journey and shadow work. And for that, we require a lot of patience. We sometimes have difficulty with patience. I mean, not only about what's happening in the world, and we find that disclosure is not going fast enough, or changes are not going fast enough. But are we ready inside of us to welcome these changes? Actually, not just welcome them, but actually be the active participants in these changes. Have we completely healed? Have we completely transmuted that what needed to be healed and transmuted? And so before running like a chicken without a head and just wanting to engage in a new theta and everything, which is absolutely needed and wonderful, and I really encourage that, as well as our dear Alex keeps saying, let's engage now as theta, and this is our purpose. It's nice to be connected to the stars and to be starseeds and to think about, upstairs things, but also we need to be grounded and engage into our world and participate in the construction of a new world. However, it's important not to go too fast and to miss some steps. And that journey within requires a lot of time for healing, because what's happening is that even if our minds can be really quick and we're processing things really quick, and our soul, already knows everything, then our mind's process is quick. What's happening is that our bodies, our beautiful avatars of flesh, our beautiful vessels, sometimes it needs more time to process healing, to process information, to process everything that needs to be done within ourselves. The body needs a certain time to do so. And since our minds are really quick and they want things to happen now and yesterday, it tends to push our body a little bit, like, hey, come on, how come you're not following up? I want you to be at the same pace that I am. But maybe even if you have realized certain things in your spiritual journey, in your soul, and then your mind has completely, processed it and completely is completely conscious of certain realities of your life, of your patterns, well, sometimes it takes much more time for your body to process this knowing, this experiencing of the information. And we need to be kind and loving and patient, mostly. And I'm definitely not a patient person, being partly a hell. I'm just, everything has to be fast, and, sizzly, and, so taking the time and, following my poor body, whose avatar flesh was trying to follow behind, is not always something I'm comfortable with. I would like things to go faster. And not only is it absolutely crucial and essential that we give ourselves and our bodies mostly the time to process all the information, to process all the changes, the transmutations, the transformations, and incarnate these new frequencies and higher frequencies that Theta and the universe is inviting us to incarnate, but also to let go of hurts, of traumas, of certain things that need to go. And sometimes our body can have some dis-ease, which is related to energetical diseases that have been stuck in the body for many generations sometimes. But also in the DNA of your life or previous lives, and it's a complex thing. So it needs time, and this lets go. The body lets go of it. Of this, I don't know if I'm expressing myself well. Is letting go of this, I guess I could say, at its own pace, and sometimes it takes time in order for us not to be in shock. The body needs to let go of layer after layer after layer and after layer. So patience is absolutely crucial. Other important point is the question of the plenitude of the void. In this process of transmutation, sometimes we find ourselves in a phase, and I know many of you, including myself, are in this phase of experiencing, the last things we still need to work on, those little patterns, those little obsessions, or these little compulsions, or these little limiting beliefs or patterns that we have within us in our spiritual and inner journey, that we're working on this. But it is important to be in a place of void in order to welcome the change, but also transmute things. If you are trying to go within and do the inner work, and then you're just spending your days and every minute of your life, on social media and being completely like obsessed by things, or if it's not social media, you're just obsessively doing things in your life. And there's nothing wrong with doing, but it's also important to have the balance with being. And, it is important to have this, not only these moments in your life when you can be able to find some silence, a form of meditation. It can be, listening to music, walking in nature, anything like that, that gives you a sense of calmness, of centeredness, where you can come back in. And this place of calmness will bring you a state of a certain void. And for many people, including myself, void is not a very comfortable area to be in. People are not comfortable with void. It sometimes because it brings up all the stuff that needs to be dealt with, which is, the whole purpose of it. But also because, we're not living in a society that's programmed us to be in void and be comfortable with it. It's always about filling the void, avoiding the void, consuming to prevent the void. Everything is about avoiding the void. And the void is not something bad. The void is a place where you need to let go of a lot of things in your life. I mean, it can be very physical experiences, like, getting rid of objects, doing some fasting, getting rid of some weight, getting rid of some, I don't like the word getting rid, but letting go, I guess it would be more proper. Letting go of certain relationships that don't, serve you anymore, or that are not loving or equally, mutually serving each other. So the void can take many forms. And this letting go can take many forms as well. And it can be a beautiful experience if you take it calmly, in patience. And just to give you an idea, in the last week or so, I've decided to go into a fast. So I'm always doing intermittent fasting, which is that I only eat one meal a day in the evening. But I decided to go to a complete fast for a few days. And that was wonderful. It felt good. I feel more light. I feel more energetic. I felt that I've let go of a lot of things in my bodies, that, things that were past patterns and things, also of habits of compulsion, because I always loved to eat a lot. So that was a way for me to kind of work on that, letting go of that pattern of compulsive eating, and, eating as a way to give myself some comfort and things like that. But also at the same time I did this fasting, I also, got rid of a lot of things in my apartment, and just let go of a lot of stuff, and that was a beautiful complementary process that helped me, feel more light, feel that I've really let go of a lot of things. And it was also working on the unconscious and conscious level, and on myself, in my soul, so it was complementary to the inner journey. So I'm just giving you an example of how void can be made. It's a place of silence, but also a place of letting go of a lot of stuff. So when we are in this place of void, and I say in quotes, because really, is it emptiness? Is it loneliness? Or is it a place of calmness and plenitude and resting and less stuff and less, information coming to you, and visual and, audio information, and just letting go to the calmness, to the silence? It feels so good. It feels so good sometimes. So the invitation of Mella, the Mella Collective, including myself today, is not only to be patient with yourself and with the process, and especially with your body, that tends to take more time to let go of certain things, but also to welcome the void, or the calmness, or the emptiness. Well, I don't like the word emptiness, but the void, it's more neutral, as a place of plenitude and calmness, rather than a place of discomfort and fear and anxiety and emptiness or loneliness. It's more like, when you take a deep breath, you just feel good. Like you don't feel like you need anything, that you have to do anything. You just feels good, just feels calm. And this is the invitation of today. So Now let's go into the more iconographical aspect of this CIT, which the iconography or representation or symbolism of the representation also complement the message that is transmitted to me through me by the Mella Collective. So first of all, let's look at our background. A background here, which is kind of cute, is representing this lovely turtle, which is quite a big turtle, and is walking very slowly, as turtles do, in this field of grass where there is also a lot of fogginess. And on top of this turtle, there's grass, but also a beautiful blooming tree. And then we have this little child here that we see that's like a little bit like the inner child that's kind of playful and wants to do, how children are. They're like playful, they're running everywhere, they're doing a lot of things. But then suddenly that child is just calm and he's just observing that beautiful turtle. Sorry, there was a motorcycle. I hope you didn't hear it. It's very noisy. Okay, so, and then that little red balloon here represents, this little dream that the child has kind of let go of, and there's a letting go there of that balloon there that also can be representing in a metaphorical way the playfulness and the of the child. So how do I interpret this particular background? So to me, the turtle obviously represents this notion of patience, of calm, and we could almost equate the turtle with our bodies, a little bit slow to process things, but slowly but surely, because the body is slow, but when it does, experience something, it really does experience it for real. And if it's moving on for something, it will really move on. It's not just a flicker, it's something that's slow but deep and profound. So the changes that take place through the body are changes that will stay, are long term. So the turtle is walking very slowly, but through the tree that's on top of its back, what we can imagine in a metaphorical point of view is that through this slow change will come a blooming and a connection as well. Because for me, the tree, a little bit like the shamanic tree, and which is also the logo of this channel, the grounded starseed, has to do with grounding yourself on terra, on the physical aspect, which the body is a representation of, and then the branches going out to the connection to source, to the stars, to, if we're starseed particularly, and so we're both, we're perfectly balanced in that way. And this is what the tree represents, is that this, through this slowness, through this patience, we're able to finally welcome this blooming of our lives. And the turtle is walking in a little bit of a fog, as you can see behind. So the foggy aspect for me represent the state of perhaps of discomfort we can feel, and sense of being a little bit lost when we are in a process of inner journey and transmutation. Our boundaries are changing, everything's changing, and we're a little bit uncomfortable, and that's why we want it to go fast. But if we're patient, the fog will slowly dissipate, and this state of confusion is not a bad thing, because it's a place of void where you can actually experience things in a different way and see how you resonate with that. So it's important. So the fog has its purpose, and then it dissipates naturally. And then, as I said, we have the little child, which is normally a very playful and running everywhere, who is now just being amazed and just looking at this beautiful turtle, and is just being calm and just rested. And the inner child in you, although is perhaps very impatient to see changes happening in your life or on terra, but you're invited to just be patient and watch time go by, welcome the void, and welcome everything with patience. So this is how I interpret this background. And so now let's have a look at our collage that we created today, which is entitled Aonarä. Aonarä, which is actually spelled here, Aonarä. And so Aonarä here, I'm going to just move a little bit so you can see the collage a little bit better. Aonarä is made with a background paper, which is of green color, which is not a color I use very often because honestly, it's not my favorite color. But for today, the Mella Collective really inspired me to use this green color. First of all, let's remember that green has to do, for many people, with healing energies, or the heart, energies of the heart. Personally, I tend to associate healing energy with pink, like the pink crystal, quartz crystal, but that's, me personally. It depends on each person. But for many people, green is the healing color. So I was inspired to use green because it probably will be talking to a lot of people. And so what we have in this background is this healing green color, which also resonates with our background here, with the notion of the tree blooming on the back of the turtle. And this background represents obviously some branches with flowers, beautiful white flowers, with a green background. So what we have here is a representation not only of healing but also of blooming. Blooming into your life, blooming into your new decisions, blooming into Terra, into a new way of living that emerges from the inner journey, the healing journey, the transmutational journey, and shadow work. In the central section of this collage, we have a large navy blue circle, which has white little stars. They're actually flowers, but it looks like they're stars. It looks like a starry sky. And this central circle for me really represented that bubble, or that space of void, of this transitional period you might be in, of where you're processing things. So it can be a little bit disconcerting sometimes, because as the smaller circle that's at the lower part of this larger circle, we have a blue background with golden waves, which represent a little bit of challenges. So in this space of void, which is the place where you decide to heal yourself and to transmute things, you will experience as well some little challenges there, because you will encounter your shadow, or you will encounter some of your things you need to transmute or let go of. And so this is why the little circle here represents waves, which represent challenges, but at the same time, the golden aspect of the waves always tells us that there is a growing, there is a gift from these waves, because challenges are always precious gifts that gives us the opportunity to grow and to evolve as soul. So this is for the central circle, which is a little bit a place of void, where you only have space with those stars, and it's a place of calmness, of centeredness, of void, yes, but of plenitude as well, where we need to experience this patience. The lower circle, which is a red circle, is for me always represents the connection to the heart. The red circle always in my collages represent the importance of connected to our hearts, to connect with our hearts in order to be in a place of not only centeredness, but to be able to experience the place of void in a much more calm and centered and connected way, rather than being all freaked out and scared. So if you stay in the heart, you can experience your place of void for a time with more calmness and plenitude. The upper circle, which is golden with white birds in flight, with beautiful red flowers and fruits and trees, represents for me this notion of when you come out finally with patience of this bubble of void that you've experienced for a while to transmute things. You will just take flight like a bird in flight, connect with source, connect with your higher self, with the fractal of source that you are. And you're just blooming into the green background of the tree and Terra and life, and you're just it's just a representation of this blooming and taking flight into your life, into your new life. Then what connects the void with that beautiful place of blooming and taking flight is that small golden circle, which is made of paper that has the flower of life motif, which always for me represents source and the fractal of source that we all are. And so it is the bridge between the space of void, of loneliness, perhaps sometimes, but between that and the taking flight and the blooming. And finally, we have those two golden branches, which are made from the same paper as the source paper, as I call it, because it's, again, golden and flower of life motif, which represents the support that, the fractal of source that we are as a soul, but also that source and our guidance offers us in this process of being in the bubble of void. And sometimes we feel alone, we feel scared, we feel anxious, we don't know how to deal with this place of void, and it's uncomfortable, and we're impatient. But then we have this support, this loving support of source and the fractal of source that we are, and our guidance. So this is how this collage of Aonarä really illustrates visually the message that was transmitted today by the Mella Collective. So Aonarä is available as an original collage, but also as a digital file on my website at abigaëllerichard.com. If you'd like to bring to your own sacred place the energies, the high frequencies that always imbue the artwork, may it be the digital file as the original work, and bring those beautiful colors and harmonious elements and message as well that also imbues the artwork into your own sacred space. So I hope this message today has inspired you, and that if you are like me in the place of transmutation and inner work, and trying to let go of certain things that don't serve you anymore, and sometimes you feel a little bit impatient, or you're really not at ease with that place of void that you find yourself in, because you find that things are not happening fast enough, either for yourself or for Terra, please, this is an invitation to be patient, to use this time as an opportunity to grow, to evolve, be in that plenitude of calmness. If you need space and you don't want to be too aggressed by a lot of information and things, respect yourself in that and take that time off. If you need time off social media, or time off your phone, or time off, I don't know, family, or whatever it is you need, respect yourself in that and take what you need in order to really satisfy that need within you for a certain plenitude and calmness and void. And be patient. Everything will happen in good time. Maybe on Terra or within yourself, everything is happening at the right time. Everything else is on the perfect timing. Source is always doing things perfectly. So trust your soul, trust source, and trust the universe. Everything's happening at the right time. So I hope this message has inspired you. I wish you a lovely day. Take immense care of yourself and be patient with yourself and with the process. Take care. Bye. All my gratitude for helping this channel bring high vibrations and high frequencies to more people.